And so actually, we were like, it's not enough. It's not enough to just create a puzzling gaming experience in a green space. And nobody was looking at the trees, nobody was looking at the green spaces. So actually, there was a lot that worked, but there was a lot that didn't work. Um, and so we took all of that feedback, all of the observations, all of the things that didn't work, and we basically did a massive slash and burn. It's not great when you make things and they don't work, because in your head you have this vision that, the angels will sing straight away. And actually, to create those kinds of experiences, you have to really, work through the weeds to find out, how people really respond and how they care and how they connect. We were kind of like working with lots of unknowns and variables. That meant that actually our playtesting was really, really crucial, because we had to see what people were doing and where it sat with them.
It's always good to like not overcook it and have a little bit of freshness and leave space for some flexibility, but you want like a good, well-rehearsed routine that will keep everything running smoothly, even if there are kind of little bumps in the road. There was a project that I made, which was a large 8-player sort of sound game, and it was designed for public use by 8 people, but ultimately, like, people kept bringing all their kids along, and they were so rough with the equipment that it just, every time we took it out to a festival, it would break, and then we would spend 4 days having to fix it just to get it back out. And it just, in the end, I think we got so tired of fixing the broken artwork that we just gave up taking it out. So yeah, sometimes it's good to know when to say no as well.
So one of the things that I do in the show is I sort of repeat this monotonous kind of inane TikTok dance over and over. But very quickly, when we first started performing it, I realized that there were certain motifs that were in the dance which would get me kicked off. One of the things that I had to tweak, and it was quite exciting for the show, because the live audience gets to see me being kicked off. And again, this becomes a metaphor for like how to survive in the arts. But we had to keep tweaking things, because obviously a little bit of jeopardy, as I speak about in the show, is good and is exciting, but too much jeopardy, the whole thing just implodes on itself. So there were various things that we had to do, tweaking the style of performance, to also having like multiple backup accounts. So yeah, I would say the whole sort of journey of Fame Hungry so far has been this game of, how do I keep my art online in a way that's safe and has this exciting level of jeopardy, but also doesn't have so much risk involved that the whole thing comes collapsing down around me.
Whatever the new thing is that you're making, you have to break the eggs. You have to break the rules. You have to think and test. You have to play. You have to be outside of your comfort zone and outside of that box. And some of that process for you has to be enjoyable. If it doesn't, you probably should be doing something else.
Talking about all the different projects and ways of working, I think it's just to keep curious. I think, art for me is at its most exciting when it's meeting audiences and the sort of plurality of like who we are as humans, and what we're bringing to any given piece of work on any given day. So I think be open to the sort of failure as it were, and the experiment of it all.